Hello, virtual learners. I love today's story. It is called Gilbert Goldfish Wants a Pet. So before we even start this, I want to ask, do you have a pet? What kind of pet do you have? If you could have any kind of pet, what would you choose? What kind of pet do you think a goldfish might want? Let's read this fiction story. When the story is over, we'll do a retell where you tell me who, where, and what happened in the story. This story was written by Kelly DiPicino, DiPiccio. I don't know. I'm not sure how to say this word. So I'm going to DiPiccio. I don't know. There are sometimes, especially names can be very, very tricky, but I'm not sure. I used what I know about words to try to figure it out. I did the best I could, and then I'm just going to keep going. It was illustrated by Bob Shea. Gilbert Goldfish Wants a Pet. To any outsider, Gilbert had everything a goldfish could ever want. A magnificent stone castle, treasure chest full of gold, and a feast of tasty flakes that fell from the sky just in time for breakfast each day. But the one thing Gilbert did not have was the very thing that he most desperately wanted: a pet. Sometimes he imagined his pet would be small, sometimes big, sometimes really big. Sometimes Gilbert imagined his pet would have fur, or feathers, or floppy ears. But every day and always, Gilbert imagined what it would be like to have a pet to care for and love. Then, one day, Gilbert woke up to find a dog barking at him. Bark, bark, bark! Gilbert blinked his eyes to make sure he wasn't dreaming. The dog wagged his tail and licked the bowl. Gilbert swam around and around in happy circles. A pet! Gilbert glubbed. I have a pet. The dog ran around and around in happy circles too. The dog barked and barked and barked some more. Bark, bark, bark! Gilbert never dreamed his pet would be so noisy or so thirsty. A week passed. A very tired Gilbert woke up, and the barky bark dog was gone. The castle was quiet again. Gilbert was just a teensy bit relieved. So I'm going to guess right here that the people, Gilbert's owners, were pet sitting. So they were taking care of this dog for this person right here. They didn't tell me that, but I made a smart guess because the dog was only there for a little bit, and then it left, and look, at everybody looks happy. That's my prediction. A few days later, Gilbert noticed a small gray mouse peering at him through the glass. Gilbert's little fishy heart went pitter-patter swish. The mouse licked her paws and sniffed the bowl. Gilbert swam around and around in happy circles. The mouse, who thought Gilbert was a large chunk of cheddar cheese, ran around and around in circles too. A pet! Gilbert glib-glubbed happily. I have a quiet pet. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The mouse sniffed and sniffed and sniffed some more. She ran away. Oh, well, there we go. I'm sorry. When the hungry mouse determined that Gilbert was not, in fact, a block of cheese, she ran away, and she never came back. Gilbert's little fishy heart went pitter, patter, plop. More time passed, and Gilbert had just about given up on his dream when a fly landed on the rim of his bowl. "Well, hello there, little fellow," Gilbert called out cheerfully. The startled fly buzzed around in circles. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Gilbert jumped up, and the wide-eyed fly was there to greet him in midair. "A pet," Gilbert glubbed. "I have a quiet, friendly—" Thwack! Oh, gosh, what happened? Oh. Oh, my poor fly and poor Gilbert. He cried enough tears to fill a 10-gallon aquarium. In the morning, Gilbert opened his eyes. Somebody was watching him. Gilbert glubbed. Somebody flicked its long tail and wry whiskers. Gilbert cautiously swam around and around in circles. Somebody followed. What do you predict is watching Gilbert? Why could that be a problem? Let's keep reading. Gilbert jumped. Somebody jumped too. Gilbert thought, eyeing the curious new creature before him. Not too loud, not too rude, and not too squished. "A pet," Gilbert glubbed. "I have the perfect pet." Is that the perfect pet for him? "You look kind of hungry," Gilbert said. "Would you like to join me for breakfast?" The creature moved in closer and closer and closer, and then it took a big bite. I don't even want to know. Should we keep reading? Should we see what happens? Of a delicious green flake. "The pink ones are really good too," Gilbert said with a smile. "Would you like me to show you around the castle?" Now Gilbert really does have everything a goldfish could ever want, including a pet, Fluffy. Oh my gosh, you guys, the first time I read the story, I was so worried. Because when I saw this, I thought for sure that it was a cat that was coming to eat Gilbert. Did you think that same thing? But what was it? If I put cat as my word, and I add fish to the end, I get catfish. And that is exactly what joined Gilbert Goldfish in his bowl. His very own pet, a pet catfish. In this story, we had Gilbert. We also had a dog. We had a mouse. We had a fly. And then we had the catfish named Fluffy. That was who was in the story. Where did the story happen? Well, pretty easy. They showed us right at the beginning, right there in Gilbert's fishbowl. And then what happened? Gilbert wanted yes, more than anything in the world, the first thing he got was and the dog was so noisy, and the dog left. The next thing that came was did you say mouse? Yes, but what was the problem with the mouse? The mouse thought that Gilbert was cheese, and as soon as it realized that Gilbert was not cheese, the mouse ran away. The next thing that came was a fly. What was the problem with the fly? It got smushed. You don't really want a smushed pet. And then what happened in the end of the story? We thought for sure, at least I thought for sure, that it was going to be a cat that was going to eat Gilbert. But no way. It was his very own pet, a catfish named, you got it, Fluffy. I hope you enjoyed this story of Gilbert Goldfish Wants a Pet. Can't wait to hear another story with you again soon.